seen out of Ryan Stewart at right guard, and what improvements has he made since he's been here?
Well, I think he's a really hardworking kid. He started for us as a freshman at San Jose, and then had an injury that sat him down, unfortunately. So I think we knew there was a lot of potential there, and I think that's been something that we're encouraged about so far. I think and it's going to be something we continue to watch. I mean, I think when you go into the first game, the starting lineup is whoever they are, but it's still up for negotiation. You know what I mean? Like, you play well or you don't. Right? If you don't play well, we're going to play somebody else. You know what I mean? But he's done a really good job so far.
Matt and Michael.
It's not a question about specific injuries or anything like that, but in general, how do you feel like you guys have made it through fall camp health-wise, and how do you feel like the guys have attacked the day-to-day recovery through the grind of fall camp?
I think they've been really good that way. I think Coach Carroll and his staff and Paul and our training room staff do a great job of just like the constant recovery, the reminders, the being on it. I think our coaching staff is really supportive of that part of it also. I think we do a good job of structuring practice that way, structuring the day that way so that recovery is a significant component of that. I love the cold tubs we have out by the practice field. Like, what a genius, whoever thought of that. That's one of the smartest things I've ever seen. You know, my last gig, before we built the new facility, we had like the big horse like feed troughs, you know, or the baby pools. You know, that was a pre-new building at San Jose. But so I think we're really in tune with that, and I think because we're starting school so late, we're still kind of in like we broke camp, but we're still doing some camp stuff because we're not, so it's just kind of, you're like, sort of guys are beat up, that's all, so we got 10 days to get right and get healthy and get fresh, and we're going to do a great job of that also.
Habit, is that going to make it easier when you guys have, okay, a class to get to, I got 20 minutes to be in the cold tub or whatnot, just fitting it into that tighter schedule?
Yeah, absolutely, and trying to make sure that they understand the importance of it, but at the end of the day, it's also the decision of a young man to make those choices about recovery when he's not here, right? Like, that's, at the end of the day, they have to choose to go to sleep and not play video games till 3 in the morning. You know what I mean? Like that type of thing.
Michael and Ryan. Following up on Justin's question, how do you assess the offensive line overall so far, both the kind of the projected starters and the depth?
I think that's going to be a really strong group for us. I think we have great leadership up there with Josh Baker and Big Jonah. I'm excited about that. I think Grayson has made some moves, is the number 2 center in training camp that we're excited about. Rhino's coming along nicely. Wowo's a good player. I think we're excited about where that's at. Now, we got to play. It's so easy to say, oh, it looked great in practice, and whatever. So I think we're in a good spot. I do think we're, the competition with our defense has been physical and violent, and I think that's a good thing in terms of getting ready to play.
Brian and Jason.
It looks like the SEC is about to be the second conference to start doing the injury reports. Has there been any discussion in the Big 12 about doing that, and where would you stand about making it so that everyone has to reveal that kind of thing ahead of time?
It wouldn't bother me as long as that's not all you guys want to talk about. You know what I mean? That's like the biggest reason why I don't like talking about injuries is because the world focuses on the injury, and really, like, you're trying to get ready for a game, and you're trying to focus on the good parts of what's happening with your football team. And the natural tendency of fans, media, everybody else is to focus on like this one kid that's injured, and it's a situation there's like nothing you can do about it. You know what I mean? It's like, so if that's what they decide, I'm all in. Just the fact that we don't have to right now, it just like kind of eliminates a negative talking point for me.
And where do you stand when it comes to depth charts? Like, do you plan on doing like an updated one each week, or is it just something that you put out at the beginning of the season and just kind of leave be?
I think I think we update it each week. Yeah.
Jason and then David.
Sometimes it can, you hit that lull where you kind of know it's just time to hit someone else besides your own teammates. Have you hit that? Can you kind of feel that energy wanting to turn to a natural opponent?
Yeah, I think we're probably there. I think these players have done a great job though of just continuing to show up and do the work. in that part of it, because it does get monotonous blocking the same guys every single play, you know what I mean? Or running routes against the same people every single play. So, we have 10, or not even 10 days anymore, but, 9 days, is that right? 9 days? So 9 days to like finish our preparation, get ready to play, and we're gonna be excited to play.
And then just kind of to add on to Brian's question about the depth chart, do guys know where they are? Do you have conversations like where they are in the pecking order in terms of like who they have to pass the play?
Do I?
Yeah. You have conversations
Me
there?
personally, no. The position coaches do that. Now we have those conversations as a staff, this guy's here, this guy's here, this guy's here. What about this guy? That type of thing. I think people talk personnel. We talk personnel all the time. But then the position coaches will normally have that. And if the player has an issue with it, he can come talk to me about it. It's pretty big communication on staff and with the players. So, as it is now, right, you're practicing, you're going ones and twos, and so guys already have a pretty good idea where they're at, right?
David and Justin.
Hypothetical, Brent, as we get closer to an NFL model in college, the practice piece and hitting role players, do you think we'll ever get to a point where we'll see maybe dual practices between schools? And is that something that you think coaches would want to do?
I hope not. And the reason I say that is because the beauty of the NFL is if you get a player hurt in one of those dual practices, you're out, okay, we just picked him up off the wire. Can't do that in college football. You know what I mean? Now, you said hypothetical, right? Like, are we going to full NFL model? Are we part of the NFC West? It's a totally different conversation, right? Are we being subsidized by the NFL? These are all like hypotheticals, rabbit holes we can go down all day if you want. But I mean, I think, like the NFL, like it's the best, arguably the best sports league in the world. But it would just, like the amount of change that would be pretty significant, I think,
Justin and Michael. How would you describe the camaraderie that you have with the offensive coaches and how you guys talk about things in between periods and what you want to add to the offense and whatnot?
It's really positive. I think, a chunk of that comes from us, all having known each other for a long time. And there's a lot of trust there. We've been through a lot of battles together. We've been the lowest of the low and the highest of the high, so, and everything in between. So I think, we love each other, we trust each other, and we're going to be honest with each other. If something ain't right, someone in that room is going to tell you, even as a head coach, which I highly value,
Michael and Matt.
What portion of your job do you view as marketing the program?
What percentage?
No, go ahead.
I think of it more in terms of me representing our program and that part of it. I leave the marketing up to people with like degrees and masters and PhDs and experience in that line of work. But obviously I am, on a microphone a lot, and I am out and about a lot. And so I am cognizant of that and the importance of it. I also, in all those things, I just try and be myself and, that part of it. But I think obviously that's a huge part of this business and a huge part of this institution. And I'm gonna try everything I can to get our team ready to play and get us in a great spot ready to play really good football. And I'm gonna trust that to somebody who's better at that than I am. Sorry, that was a long answer.
How would you characterize the overall growth of the passing game since the spring? Because you have guys in the wide receiver room, the tight end room, the running back room that are going against one of the best secondaries probably in the country.
Well, I think that's a good thing, right? Because they're definitely getting challenged every day by excellent players and like excellent coaching on the back end with Coach Akina and Coach Viney and Coach Arcee. So I love that part of it for us. And I think we're in a good spot. I think we've seen one of the things I know I said to y'all, like trying to figure out like after that first group of receivers, like who's that next group that's elevating. And there's been a lot of really good stuff there. Rex Haynes has done a great job. Devin Hyatt, Chris Hunter, really, really excited about that. I think we saw a lot from Malachi in the spring and obviously Montana. But Jeremiah Patterson's the new addition from CSM. He's an exciting, so there's good things happening in that room. I'm encouraged by that.
Last question, Jason.
Have you decided what coaches will be in the booth and what coaches on the field?
Yes, but I'm not even sure what that's going to be.
All right.
Like, we haven't talked about it. We like kind of test drove it last Saturday. We're going to test drive it again on Saturday. So, good. Thanks.
Thanks, Brian.